Hello YouTube, here we are once again. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Welcome to my video, and in today's video we have a mailbag opening. We got a couple of packages that came in, as well as a comic book that I want to share with you that I picked up from my LCS. And then as well, on top of that, I'm also gonna share with you some of my strategies when I attend comic book auctions. Alright, so stay tuned for that after the short video intro. Welcome back everyone. Comic Sniper here to bring you another video. This time we've got a couple of mailbag once again to open up, and then I'm going to share with you a comic book that I picked up from my LCS as well. And then of course, as promised, I'm going to share with you some of my strategies when I go to comic book auctions, whether they be online or in person. I have attended both previously, and hopefully I can share some of my strategies with you, and hopefully to help some of you out if you are attending one anytime in the near future. All right, but first of all, for those of you who aren't interested in that and just want to see what's inside the boxes and what I picked up, we're gonna do that first thing. Okay, so first off, this is the comic book I picked up from my LCS, and what I got was Uncanny X-Men number 116. Now this isn't any key book by any means, but it does fill a gap that I have that I'm collecting right now. It is the Uncanny X-Men run from '94 on up, and I don't have this issue. This is number 116, and this is some of the great work that's been done by Chris Claremont and John Byrne. Love the artwork on this. Check out the especially when they use the colors as they've done here. And just fantastic artwork right there. That's just awesome. So that's I'm really happy to put this in my collection. Not a super high grade copy, definitely. There is it's got some soiling in the back when I checked this out, as well as a color breaking crease right there. Okay, right there. There's a color breaking crease right there. But all in all, it's in actually really good shape, so I'm pretty happy with this. Okay, and then next, let's open up this bad boy here. Let's see, I'm gonna do that and see what's inside box number 1. Okay, so in that box, it was well packaged. It came in the comic mailer, which was pretty cool. No issues whatsoever. Like I said, well packaged. So the comic looks like it arrived in great shape. And what I got, check it out, another X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, this time number 128. Again, another filler book for me for my issues. I'm really getting down to that. I'm not really looking for anything in particular right now. We'll check out this one. Again, not a super high grade, but very clean. It does have some spine ticks, as you can see, indicative of the age. So I'm not looking for anything super high grade in these, just something really presentable, and something to fill my collection. So number 128, that one I don't have yet, so happy to have that, and getting really down to it. So that's what I got for those two. All right, and then next we're gonna go after this one. It came in a bubble wrap. Okay, we'll see what's inside this one. Okay, so this one, even though it came in that bubble mailer envelope, it was well packaged and had a good amount of cardboard to protect the comic book. So again, not an issue. And what I got out of that one is Avengers number 144. Now this is the first appearance of Hellcat. Not a key character at the moment, but you never know with the with the MCU where it's headed, especially now that they're finishing up what do you call that, their 10-year run, that phase, that whole, you know, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor phase that is culminating into the Avengers Infinity Wars, which is, we're excited to finish that off with the last movie coming up soon, and that's going to be the Avengers Endgame. So, and then after that, of course, we're going to get into the new phase, and that would mean a whole slew of probably new characters that are going to be introduced, and we just don't know right now what they might be and who they might be. But this is another cool character. Of course, they're also introducing more women. So I've noticed that this issue has gone up in value, and is actually you know, hovering. So it's not. There is no news as of yet. Definitely, they haven't put out anything, but people are already speculating. So we'll see what comes of it, right? This issue that I got here, this one's not going to be a high grade. I'm probably going to keep a lookout for a higher grade than this. I just wanted to. I never had this issue. Never had this Avengers number 144. So I thought I might as well get on this, and then pick up a good copy, as you know, that's well priced. But definitely, if I can grab another one, especially in a higher grade at a even better price, I'm gonna be all over that. So that's what I got for you right now. Okay, so I've got a couple of X-Men and then Avengers. So as promised, we're gonna talk about and I'm going to share with you some of my tips for when I attend comic book auctions, and what some of the strategies that I use when I do that. So first off, you know, one of the things you have to do is give yourself as much time, as much lead time before you go into the actual auctions to do research. Now, it's not sexy, right? This is the legwork that has to be put in. Because if you put in the legwork now, you will have less chance that you will get buying something and overpaying for something that you know, that you bought at the auction, right? So what I would suggest is, if there's a list, let's say if you're online, whether it's let's say you're coming up to an online auction, make sure you pick out all the books that you might be interested in. Or if you're going to be attending an auction live, let's say at an auction house, usually what they'll do is they will post a list of the comic books, or sets of lots, as they call them, of the books, and sometimes they'll actually list what's in the lots if they have multiple comics in each lot. So be prepared to, you know, sometimes actually a lot of times they don't just auction one book per lot. Sometimes they'll bundle them up together, and they might even do that at when it actually comes time to do the auction. They might actually bundle up several lots. So just be prepared for that. But what I would suggest is get information on what is in the auction, so that you can do as much research as possible. Now, pick out the books you're interested in, so that you can weed out the ones that you're not going to be looking at, so you're not having to do as much research on anything, just the ones you're interested in. Okay, now doing as much research as possible, you want to find out things like the significance of that book, whether it be like first appearances, whether they're part of a run that you might be looking for, of course the rarity of that book, whether it's a sought after book, or if it's something that maybe you're just interested in as for yourself. But find out more about that book, as to what it's for, and why it's what it's doing currently in the marketplace, as well as the price. Okay, find out what the price is of it's going for. You can find that out at other auction sites. Of course, good old eBay, you can always get information there. And of course, you can use things other pay sites such as GPA, that kind of stuff, especially if you're going after graded books. Okay, so once you've done that, once you've got your list of books that you might be interested in, you have to narrow that down, because really you don't want to be going after all of those unless you have a huge bankroll. And that could be, but for most of us, we don't have a huge bankroll. So what I would suggest is cherry pick the ones you really want. You got to whittle it down to the ones that are the ones you really want to go after and really pay attention to. Okay, so and then of course, even with those books, okay, don't get married to it. This is a big lesson. Okay, please, even though we really want these books, they're on our big want list, don't get married to it. You need to be able to let it go. Okay, walk away from the deal. That's the main thing here. Okay, that's the one you need to take away from. Okay, now after you've got it down to the specific books that you want, okay, you're the ones that you really want, and of course you still have the ones that you're interested in, semi-interested in. Keep an eye on that as well. You need to now take a look at the books. Okay, if it's online, you need to inspect the pictures that they provide. If possible, to maybe message to the auction sites if they're able to get more detailed pictures. Sometimes they will provide more pictures as the time goes on. Okay, so but most of the time you're just unfortunately you're just stuck with whatever pictures they have available on site, and you really can't get any more than that. So you're just gonna have to make your best guess as to, and do the best you can with the pictures that you have available to you. Now you can, if there is a personal viewing, if you're going to go to auction houses, I would highly recommend taking sometimes several hours, okay, because it takes time to do so, to look through all the books that you might be interested in. And some of them, sometimes you have to go through boxes, right? So they're going to be auctioning off boxes, so you give yourself lots of time to be able to inspect those and attain the condition of the books that you want. Okay, and to be able to write down exactly the conditions, assess the best as best as you can. A lot of times, if you're able to attend and see the books yourself, you can ask the auction people to see the books, take it out of the actual bag, so that you can inspect the pages, the back page, and the inside pages as well. Okay, that's very important. Now if you do that, okay, then you can determine your best way to do that is to understand what type of grade they might be, the grade range they might be in. Okay, so, and then if you can do that, then you can research more, really narrow it down to the value of those books that you really want. Okay, so arming yourself with the most information as possible is key here. Okay, that's basically what I'm trying to get at. So if you do that, you are arming yourself with the best information as possible, and you're giving yourself the best chance for success, for a successful auction. Okay, now once you've got that down, you've got the prices that it's going for, the fair market value, let's say, of what those books are and what they're going for. You need to set now for yourself the highest price you are willing to pay for these books. Okay, because if you just go in there with no plan and no strategy and no price range, there's a good chance you will overpay for these books, because there's a lot of things going on, a lot of excitement at the moment. That's what auctions are for, and they're a lot of fun in that regards. But it is also in the best interest of the auctioneer to create that excitement, that hype, and that also drives up the price. That's their job. And if they do a good job, they will try to get the highest price they can for the seller and of course the auction house themselves, because they make money on that. Okay, but for yourself, you need to have a budget, let's say, for how much you are willing to pay for each book, and I would say no more. Okay, So set yourself up, make a good and detailed notes as what the prices you're gonna have for these, and stick with it. And then of course, be patient. Okay, you have to be patient, in because they only auction one lot at a time usually. Now don't get sucked in by the hype because it's so easy to do so, because that's one of the fun things about being in an auction, is because there is so much excitement, and I love it myself, and I have been caught up in the auction, and it's a very fun time if you do it right. But but don't go after the early ones right away, where you're gonna start overpaying everything. Make sure you stick to your guns. Okay, that's what you wanna be able to do for yourself. Okay, it's not about quality. Okay, but it's it's not about quantity. It's about the quality of the deal. You don't need to it's better to walk out with few books that you got at a really good deal, than to walk away with a lot of books that you got as a bad deal. Okay, because what's going to happen is you're just not going to feel good about yourself. Okay, so the biggest tip I have for you guys. Okay, and this is where my biggest strategy. Okay, if you want to write this one down, the best deals to be had are between approximately halfway to 3/4 of the auction time. Okay, usually now sometimes your books might not, a lot of your books might not fall into that area. They might, some of the best books that you really want might be in the beginning, but know that some of the best deals to have, what I really like to go after, are the books that are going to be after halfway through the auction, but not all the way near the end of the auction. So like I said, about halfway to 3/4. Why is this the case? Well, it weeds out a lot of the impatient bidders. Believe it or not, there's a lot of impatient bidders, and they just want to go after the books that they really want, and sometimes they're at the very beginning, and they're gonna overpay for those, and you'll see some of that, and the people get caught up in the hype, and they will start bidding on those ones. So the early bidders, the one who can't control themselves, they're going to go after those ones, and sometimes, a lot of times, those ones are going to be overpriced, in my opinion. Not all the time, and you have to be able to pay attention to the ones that you can get at a good deal, even at the early times. But typically, you get a lot of people that just want to bid right away and get that over with. They're very impatient, and of course, you'll weed out all the ones with the shallow pocketbooks, which means the ones that don't have a lot of money, so they pay for a few, they buy a few things, and then when their budget is done, really they can't afford it anymore, they're done. Okay, so that's why you need those ones. Will get weeded out at the first half, let's say. Now the last quarter, so you want to be at the most, you want to do your best buys. I find that finding the best deals and the best buys at between halfway to 3/4. And then what happens after that is the last quarter, usually you have the desperation people. Okay, the ones who haven't bought anything, or let's say the ones who are, they still have money, and they're willing to spend it, that kind of stuff, and or the ones that are have bought nothing, and they just want to buy something. They feel like they need to walk out with something, or else they feel like they wasted their time. Don't be one of these people. Okay, but just know that they will be there at the very end. The ones who are still there at the very end, they might be in that desperation mode, and in fact, they're the ones who might drive up the price, because they are gonna go higher than what let's say they're interested in the beginning. Okay, so that's one of those things too. So keep that in mind as well, and because mind you, but there is a lot of good deals to be had at the very end. Like I said, most people are gone already by that time, and some people are just not patient enough to do so. But I hate to say it, okay, but you gotta be prepared to leave empty-handed. Okay, make sure that if you do, you are happy with that as well, because you got to give yourself a pat in the back. Listen, if you walk away empty-handed because there was no good deal to be had, you've done the right way. You don't want to leave there with buyer's remorse. Okay, that means you came out disciplined, and there'll be another auction in the future. It's not the end of the world that you didn't get what you know everything that you wanted, or even anything for that matter. Okay, so don't feel bad about walking out with nothing. I've done it myself. I know it feels like you wasted your time, but you have to be prepared to do that, or else you could be setting yourself up for a bad deal. Okay, and just know that you didn't get sucked in. Okay, and you did the right thing. So that way, feel good that you know whatever deal you've had, don't have this is the best way to have no buyer's remorse. Okay, pay the price that you're only willing to pay for it, and be happy with the deals you made, and then the deals that you didn't make. And that's the biggest thing. That way you'll have more money in your pocket for the next auction. Okay, look at it that way. So because there'll always be another one down the line. This is, you know, there's a lot of these going around, not constantly, but when they do, now you'll have a strategy as to what to do and how to get the best deals for yourself. So guys, that's my strategies for attacking online and in-person auctions. Hopefully something you know in that wisdom helps you guys out, and let me know if you do. And if you have other recommendations and suggestions as well, I'd love to hear about them. You know, that way it more power, more information for us, and I might be able to incorporate some of that into my own strategy in the future. I'd love to hear that. All right. So once again, thank you very much for sticking with me here and listening to my recommendations for auction, as well as the comic books that I was able to share with you guys today. For those of you who haven't done so, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell and smash that like button, because it tells me that I'm on the right track, and of course it pushes me to do more videos for you guys. Okay, and then of course leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know about some of the past auctions you've done. Any strategies, like I said, that you might be willing to share with us. It's all about helping the community and hopefully making sure that we keep the hobby going and as much as possible. So any if I help any of you guys out, I'd love to hear about it. Makes my sharing all of this worthwhile. Okay, all right. Once again, Comic Sniper here, doing another video for you guys. So we'll see you guys on the next video. Okay, bye bye for now.